on Kababayan Today, singer and songwriter Odette Quesada. She's sharing with us her journey. And now let's talk about the decision to move to America.
Well, I've been coming here since I was a kid, back and forth. My father happens to be an American, and then my mother remarried, also an American. So I've been coming back and forth. But to actually live here and raise my kid, that was my husband's decision.
So that was not something you wanted to do initially?
No, it wasn't something I wanted to do. No, not at all. Because as I said, I've had the means to stay here, but I kept going back home. And because I liked it there. I mean,
a lot of people like it there.
I know. What's not to like? I mean, you get to have a driver there. You get to have your maids. You don't have to pick up after yourself. You got to do everything here.
Absolutely.
Every single thing.
Yeah. Well, there's a misconception na masarap ang buhay sa Amerika, ano?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess if you haven't really made it back home, and then here you got a leveled playing field, like you have a chance. You don't have to be like a Sean of a big family back home to actually get a great job or things like that. No padrino system.
Yes, there's more
you get
opportunities.
Opportunities are open for anybody here. So.
Well, speaking of opportunities, you had amazing opportunities to create songs for all of the biggest Philippine pop stars. And so the decision to move here was it something that you had to give up? Or felt like you had to give up?
I think so. It's more like a feeling than anything else. Because even before then, we were doing our own thing. We had our own recording studio. We had a label. All we had to do was get a new artist, produce that artist, and either Vicor would buy it or Viva would buy it, and then.
So you were just producing hits after hits.
That's what we were doing, and then once my child was born, it was a totally different thing. Because first of all, the pollution back home was doing a number on his lungs. So the doctor said that he's gonna continue to have asthma or bronchitis all the time if you don't take him out of Manila, because that's where we were. We were in the middle of all the hubbub.
Yeah.
We were in...
Kaya minsan mas masarap sa probinsya kasi malinis ang hangin. Diba? Sa Maynila talaga, and the traffic and the pollution. Until today, that was also one of the reasons moving back here to America. Doon hindi nakakatakbo yung mga anak ko. Saan ka tatakbo?
That's true.
Diba? Wala kang matakbuhan.
Well, when we were there, we lived in a condominium, and the downstairs, the second floor had all the playground on it. My son would come back to our unit. I'd give him a bath, and he'd be full of soot. Dripping of this black stuff, and all he did was play for 2 hours downstairs.
Talaga.
And can you imagine that going to your lungs? So that was the decision to move here.
So the decision to move was really based on being able to raise your son in a better environment.
In a better environment. Not to disparage what the Philippines has to offer. I would have loved to have raised him there and stayed there, but unfortunately he was always sick.
And now, how old is he?
He is now 19 years old, in college, thriving, and he's off today, but he still didn't want to come with mommy.
Is he also following in your footsteps and pursuing music?
I think I don't know, I don't want to say this, but I'm a little disappointed that he's not, but I'm also glad that he's pursuing his own thing. He's taking biochemistry, and that sounds really smart. I just hope he continues to do so and do well in school.
Well, that's a difference, because a lot of parents that do come here want their child to be a biochemist, and even if the child wants to pursue something artistic like music or art, it's discouraged because as a profession, they always say, well, anak, mas mabuti na yung sigurado ka sa trabaho mo instead of music or art. But ikaw, because you're a musician, you really encourage that.
For him to become a musician?
Or whatever he wants to be.
Yeah,
diba?
whatever he wants to be, because I tried my best. I know he's got the ear for it. He was playing the piano at 4, and and all his music teachers were always in praises of him. But I don't know, it's his form of rebellion is not to be a musician like mom and dad. And that's fine, you know, if he
Yes,
wants to pursue an actual profession in the science field, then who am I to stop him? I'm just a
Amazing.
proud mother.
Yes, and very supportive. Well, we want to find out why you've been gone for so long from the stage. When we return on Kababayan Today, pag-uusapan natin yan because on January 17th, she's coming back to the Celebrity Center International in Hollywood for a show. We need to find out about this. We'll be right back.